In this short video, we're going to learn all about the mathematical processes required to evaluate risky options. Let's suppose that you're a risk-averse decision maker with a utility function of 2i to the 0.5, where I denotes your monthly income in thousands of dollars. You're considering accepting a job that's entirely commission-based, and depending on your performance, you can receive either a low salary or a high salary. You expect to earn a low salary of $9,000 with probability 2/3 and a high salary of $36,000 with a probability of 1/3. Our goal is to calculate the expected income from the commission-based job. How are we going to solve this question? We just need to apply the expected value formula, which is really like a weighted average. So the expected value of your income will be the probability of the low income times the low income plus the probability of the high income times the high income. Solving a question like this is really all about identifying what you know and labeling it appropriately. So here what we know is the following. We know that the low salary is $9,000 and that's going to occur with probability 2/3, and the high salary is $36,000 and that's going to occur with probability 1/3. We're trying to find the expected income from this commission-based job. All we do is apply the formula. So the expected income, which I'm going to call E of I, is equal to 2/3 times 9,000 plus 1/3 times 36,000. Don't let all these zeros confuse you. You can see that 9,000 divided by 3 is 3,000, and 2 times 3,000 is 6,000. So we get the first part, plus 36,000 divided by 3 is 12,000. If we break it down into steps like that, it gets a little bit easier to manage. 6,000 plus 12,000 is $18,000. So your expected income in this commission-based job is $18,000. Now we want to calculate the expected utility from the commission-based job. What do we need to know in order to answer this question? We need a utility function as well as each potential income and the probability of it occurring. How do we solve this question? Using the expected utility formula. So the expected utility formula is a weighted sum, but instead of weighting the salaries, we're going to weight the utility we get from each salary. So we have the probability of the low salary times the utility from the low salary plus the probability of the high salary times the utility from the high salary. So solving this again requires that we're careful to describe what we know. So we have the utility function over income is 2i to the 0.5. And I want to make a note about this that I don't think I was really clear about in the beginning. Income here is in thousands. What that means is what I plug into this equation is not going to be 9,000, but instead 9. And instead of 36,000, I'll plug in 36. So sometimes we have to be really careful about units, and this question specifically says I refers to income in thousands of dollars. Okay, so then we have our two potential salaries as well as their probabilities, and our goal is to find the expected utility from our commission-based job. So I think just to make things really clear, I'm going to restate that IL, once we want to plug it into our utility function, is really equal to 9, and that IH is really equal to 36. Then we can apply our formula for the expected utility. So the expected utility from income is going to be equal to 2/3 times the utility from $9,000, which will be 2 times 9 to the 0.5, plus 1/3 times the utility from the $36,000 salary, which will be 2 times 36 to the 0.5. So notice we're taking the utility from the low salary and we're weighting it by the probability, and this is the utility from the high salary weighted by the probability. So with a little bit of math, we get 2/3 times 2 times 3. Plus 1/3 times 2 times 6. Well, 2/3 of 6 is 4, and 1/3 of 12 is also 4. So the expected utility in this question is 8. Let's add a little bit more onto our story. Let's suppose that you're currently employed and making a certain salary of $17,000. We want to know, should you keep your current job or should you accept the new job offer? Because you're a risk-averse decision maker, you want to compare the expected utility from your current job to the expected utility from the commission-based job. So we have to compute the utility from the current job. Now, it's not really an expected utility because it's certain. So all that matters here is that your income in thousands at this current job is 17. So your utility is going to be equal to 2 times 17 to the 0.5 power. I obviously need to use a calculator to compute that, and if I do, I get 8.24. So we answer this question. What should you do? Should you stay with the current job or should you move to the commission-based job? Well, the utility from your current job is higher than the expected utility from the commission-based job, so you should definitely stay where you are.